The meeting between the President of El Salvador and the President of the United States is not coincidence. It is the initial outcome between a president who has achieved spectacular results that no one would have previously believed and a president of a global superpower who now seeks in a second term to recover what he has defined as America First. El Salvador returns to the Oval Office, the presidential office of the most powerful country in the world. It's considered an honor and has many meanings with both within the United States itself as well as in El Salvador and the hemisphere. It symbolizes a meeting that redefines a strategic alliance between the two American countries and sends a clear message to the world. The two presidents, each with their own style, are considered two transformative leaders, and in each of them they had maintained a personal dialogue that transcends diplomacy, and that is good for El Salvador. President Bukele has accompanied by a high-level delegation from the Salvadoran government, including the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Alexandra Hill, the Minister of Justice and Public Security, Gustavo Villatoro, the Minister of National Defense, René Merino Monroy, the Salvadoran Ambassador to Washington, D.C., Milena Mayorga, and other presidential advisors. Awaiting President Bukele and the Salvadoran government delegation were a circle of high-level U.S. government officials, including Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi, Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, and Mike Waltz, who has National Security Advisor until a few days ago, as well as other advisors and collaborators to the U.S. President team at the White House. The meeting seemed relaxed. The two presidents already knew each other. A few years ago, in New York City, the two leaders met to review issues on the bilateral agenda between El Salvador and the United States. Now, the political chemistry between the two is more evident. Trump recognizing El Salvador's security achievements at the hands of his president, and Bukele presenting a healthy country ready to collaborate with the Trump administration as key strategic partner in the region. But Trump also praised him and see in the Salvadoran president as young leader who has delivered extraordinary results for this country. It's not coincidence that Nayib Bukele was the first American president to be received by the President of the United States as the start of his second term, that of a reload president. Therefore, this visit was widely anticipated in various circles, and the international media gave it extensive minute-by-minute coverage. That day, the news of the day was President Bukele's visit to the White House. This meeting also represents the relaunch of relations between El Salvador and the United States. It had been 15 years since a Salvadoran president had been received in the Oval Office, a space of enormous global political influence and decision-making, as it is the seat of the U.S. President administration. Historical figures had been there. The visit also finalized agreements on security and migration strategies between both countries, seeking to strengthen and expedite the update of the security partnership for fugitive controls, as well as the U.S. Global Entry Program, which will contribute to ensuring that the migratory flow to Salvadorans who legally enter to the United States had pre-approval, facilitating their control but more expedite entry to U.S. soil. This represents special treatments for our citizens that will contribute to better regional development in El Salvador. Shortly afterward, Minister Merino Monroy was welcomed on the steps of the Pentagon by the U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth for a joint working meeting in which the objective is to strengthen strategic alliance and cooperation in security, defense, and development between the two countries. While political and diplomatic relations can be somewhat predictable, they are also dynamic and pragmatic, not written in stone. No more than ever, results outweigh traditional ideological affinities. This is why the leadership Presidents Bukele and Trump have been considered transformative rather than traditional. Personally, I have no doubt that those present in the Oval Office during the widely anticipated meeting between the two presidents were emotional and even enlightening, especially given that both leaders share experiences about the challenge of these transformative visions within established structures. The meeting between Presidents Nayib Bukele and Donald Trump marks a turning point in hemispheric relations and established El Salvador as a key player in the world's leading power. A difficult position to achieve, and one that many countries would surely like to achieve. A special milestone in the history and relations of El Salvador and the United States, that and much more between two countries facing a new era. This visit, while shining like 24-karat gold, was also a highly anticipated one.
He's done what many considered impossible, were the words Trump used to greet his Salvadoran counterpart, referring to the transformation in public security that El Salvador has undergone. Irrefutable. Donald Trump, President of the United States, about Nayib Bukele, President of El Salvador.
Don't forget to subscribe and share with more people. Thank you.